Welcome to another episode of the Mobile Legends 101 series. I recorded this late because something went wrong with my iPhone, but hey, here we are. So in our previous video, someone requested a video on Leomord, and so here we are. And so we're gonna be talking about Leomord for the next video. In this video, I mean. Sorry, I'm kind of sleepy. Alright, so Leomord. He is still one of the favorite heroes to play in the ranked games, as well as in the higher ranks and in the lower ranks. Part of the reason why he's such a good hero in the higher ranks is because, again, like many heroes in this game, he is very mobile with his Barbiel, which is his horse, and that makes him a very, very strong fighter because he can get in and out of fights very easily, and that allows him to be very active in trying to get enemies. So, as usual, when you just started the game, your focus should be on farming. This is true for any hero, even if you are playing support heroes, because you'll still need your gold and levels to be able to support your team. But especially for fighters, mages, and assassins, you want to get your levels really fast, and with Leomord, as soon as you get level 4, you can become pretty effective in team fights right from the get-go. So what you want to do is just make sure you cover as many lanes as possible and get as much gold as you can, because getting his first item would allow him to participate in more fights, and that will help your teammates a lot. So something about Leomord is that even though you're not participating in fights, you can still be very useful, because this hero clears lanes very quickly. As you can see with his first skill, you can pretty much kill your enemy's creeps in just 2 seconds using his first skill, and then clearing the lane with your auto attacks. If you don't know, sorry, we're in a team fight now. Let me just finish this team fight.
An enemy has been slain.
So if you don't know, Leomord's passive is that whenever the enemy is under, let me see, 30% of health, he is gonna deal critical damage regardless of your items. So that is a 100% chance of dealing critical damage, and that is really, really powerful. Oh, we just got this, by the way. Quick news: Onyx Esports from Indonesia won MSC 2019. Congrats to the team. And because I bought the MSC tournament pass, I get the skin, I get that secret statue, and you know, that was fun.
An ally has been slain.
Alright, so
An enemy has been slain.
you probably saw the team fight just now. The first few times I played Leomord, I kind of forgot that you need to be in the same path as the horse to mount it. And so, a few times I played this game, I forgot that I have to stay in place, and so I didn't get to get on the horse, and you're just awkwardly standing there, running towards the enemy without your horse, and that's not a very good place to be. So the number one thing you have to remember when playing Leomord is that do not go off the path of your horse when you release your ultimate. As long as you can do that, you should be fine. And when you get on the horse, the first thing you want to do is you have to spam your skills all the time. What I mean by that is that once you get on the horse, try to get in as much damage as you can towards your enemies by using your first and second skill. I'll show you in a bit when we get into a team fight how you want to play using Barbiel, so you can have a better idea of what to do in the next team fight you get.
Team destroyed a turret.
So with Leomord, your focus should be on keeping your lane pushed instead of getting into team fights, although I know he's very strong in team fights, but he is very effective in pushing the lanes. As you can see right now, he's clearing the lanes so fast, and while our enemies are busy fighting in the bottom lane, we can just face off Zilong here, because he can't really do anything against me. Although he's fast, I'm faster. So if he decides to chase me now, I can actually kill him, but he's very wise, he didn't decide to do that. He might as well do it now, and he's far enough now so we can chase him. Yep. As you can see, he can't really do anything against me, and I easily killed him. And because our team is fighting the enemy team in the bottom lane, we're pretty safe in the sense that nobody's gonna come after us after we kill him. So that's a good thought process of playing this hero, is that anytime the enemy is fighting elsewhere, we can safely push the lane and kill enemies along the way. This is not a good idea, this Franco to back Granger up, so we should fall back. As usual, get back to farming, and something about Leomord is he farms really fast, but you have to remember to go back to your lane and jungle to get that farm. So after a team fight, get back to your jungle or the enemy's jungle, farm it, and then get back to your lane. And if you see there's a team fight brewing in other lanes, you can make your way there, but only if you've done, if you're done finishing your lane and jungle. Okay, our Franco got Chang'e, but okay, so in this team fight we see the enemies are gathering up, right? So as soon as they're starting a fight with our team, we're gonna go call Barbiel. You want to be careful with Esmeralda, as usual. She's a very strong hero.
Our turret is under attack.
Oof, Zask almost got pulled there.
I should be forsaken.
So although we're ahead in farm, we're not in a very good position in terms of team fight, because the enemies are better at team fights against our lineup, at least in this stage of the game. If we enter the late game, we're gonna be winning all the team fights we can get. So our focus now is just to focus on transitioning into the late game without losing too much farm. So in the past minute, if you rewind this video, you'll see that we were just roaming around in the middle lane without really farming anything, and that is a bad idea. So once you realize that you're not doing anything in the lane, you should really just go to the other lanes, like what Franco did here, but it should have been me instead of him. Right. So now that we're doing that, we can just focus on pushing the lane again and looking at the map. And once we see where the enemy is going, we can just head there after clearing this lane.
My oath means everything to me.
Zilong is chasing me, but that's not a good idea by him. As you can see, he's dead now.
Lord resurrecting soon. Attack.
So there's two guys up here. So the middle lane is open, right? So with Leomord, if you're waiting for your horse to come back, I mean by this cooldown right there, you should just focus on pushing the other lanes, because the enemies are so focused on team fighting at the top, right? While they're doing that, we can secure this. Okay. Well, we're lucky the tower got destroyed. But if the tower wasn't destroyed just now, we might have taken so much damage. So because I focused on pushing the turret instead of joining a team fight without a horse, we managed to get a turret down in the middle lane, while our team fights didn't really die. In fact, we actually managed to kill some of the enemy heroes, so that's good. Now that we have Barbil up again, we can start looking at doing team fights, but again, as I've said in the previous videos, we shouldn't be focusing too much on getting into team fights or getting so much kills, and instead focus on the objective of the game. So right now the enemies are missing, and they're probably going to be clearing this lane on the top lane, as you can see with Chang'e. So your focus should also be clearing the lanes, pushing the enemy creeps back to their side of the map, and then regrouping with your team, like what Moskov is doing here is probably... Okay, while we're doing that, we can just do our sprint. Well, we're lucky Moskov managed to get Lord and kill, but we shouldn't join this team fight because the enemies are too grouped up while we are so separated with our teammates. That's a good sign. We can probably go for this.
I should be forsaken.
Okay, she uses sprint, so we should not be joining the fight.
Mega kill.
So you saw there, what I did was I got ahead of Franco and then used our second skill to push him back towards our teammates. And that's another power of Leomord. He's moving really fast, right? And so it's not very hard for him to get on in front of the enemy and then push them back towards our teammates to have a better chance of securing the kill. And that should be the focus of playing Leomord, which is getting your horse up into the fight, getting in front of the enemy, and then pushing them back to our teammates. That way we can kill the enemies easier and faster. You should do that with the rest of the enemies as well if the team fight is still going. So right now Moskov is dead, and we only have Vixana with us, which isn't a very strong hero to play against these guys. So we shouldn't look for a team fight. So we're in the late game, and our team is getting hooked, so we should really help him. And because the enemies have used many of their skills, we can jump in and still be safe in the team fights. Okay, I didn't expect Granger to be still there, but because of that we died. So yeah, that's okay. So Moskov lost in terms of farm against Granger, so that's not good. But we're still ahead of the enemy team, and so I'm guessing that it's up to us to set the pace of the game. That's a good kill. So in the late game, the focus should be to push the enemy lanes and push for objectives. So that also means securing Lord, which is going to be up in a minute. And so when you're trying to secure the Lord, what you want to look at the map is, will the enemies be around when the Lord is up? And because the tower in the bottom lane is still up, there's a better chance of them being in the lane closer to where the Lord is gonna be. So what you want to do... Sorry, we're just lagging really quick right here. This is not a good time, my friends. That's good. We really quickly killed them. And this is again what you want to do. Wait for your skills to have their cooldown and then get back into the map. sorry, get back into the team fight. But when your skills are still on cooldown, you shouldn't be joining the team fight, right? Because you're pretty much useless.
I should be.
So we can't chase her. So back to what I was talking about. When you want to push for Lord, your focus should be pushing the lanes that are close to the Lord. That way, when you're trying to kill Lord, the enemies are going to be focusing on clearing their lanes instead of trying to get us to stop attacking the Lord. And if they still choose to do that while our creeps are pushing into their base, they're going to lose health on their turrets. And so it's going to be still a good trade, right? So that's how you play this game. You want to make sure the enemies are confused as to what to do. And so they pick one choice, and that one choice is going to require them to pay. So we can kill Esmeralda here because we have so much items. There. It's very easy when you get this many items with Leomord because you're tanky and you hurt a lot. But we're gonna die here because we get bited by Franco. That's a bad move by me. So by this time, Moskov is really rich. So even if he's not that good of a player, he's gonna hurt like crazy. And the enemy just conceded. So that is the end of the video. So I hope you enjoyed that video. It's a pretty fun game. Even though it's not that hard, it's got challenging in the middle game and towards the late game. Because the enemy managed to get some farm. And our Moskov wasn't really good. But it turned out okay. It was fun. And thank you for our friend who requested Leomord in the comment section in the previous video. So again, if you want to learn other heroes or any specific things in the game, let me know in the comments and I'll try to cover that in the next videos. Until then, good luck and have fun. Bye.